Dear guests and all viewers, let me first welcome you. Today I had the pleasure of interviewing people who are pursuing a foreign internship. The interview is being performed as a part of the doctoral schools are our future project, implemented by Polish Association of Doctoral Candidates. Today, mine and our guests are Natalia Brolaga, Blanka Borowiec, Andrzej Patyra, Adam Grzywaczyk, and Witold Stachowiak. I believe that no one will present you better than yourself, so I ask you sincerely to present your bios and scientific activities. What do you do on the daily basis? I believe we can start with Natalia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Natalia, and I am fourth year PhD student at Poznań University of Technology on Faculty of Chemical Technology. And I carry out my research in the discipline of chemical sciences. And during my PhD studies, I work on functional systems for delivering of probiotic bacteria. But also in general, in my research work, I analyze the impact of various substances, compounds like pharmaceuticals, on the properties of bacterial cells.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like to ask Blanka the same question.
Okay, so good evening. My name is Blanka Borowiec, and I am currently studying at the doctoral school of the Karol Marcinkowski Medical University in Poznań. And in just a short sentence, my research concerns the influence of artificial saliva and extracellular vesicles on the wound healing process. And in addition to my scientific activities, I am actively engaged in academic community, first of all, for the betterment of my university and some fellow doctoral candidates. And as a member of the Doctoral Students Council, I contribute to various initiatives and discussions. And furthermore, I participate in the meetings held by the National Council of Doctoral Students and the Doctoral Forum of Medical Universities. And the internship I will talk about today is the 1-month trip to Chicago, during which I learned CAR T-cell technology in cancer treatment. Thank you.
Thank you, Blanka. Andrzej, could you present your bios?
Yes, sure. Hello, my name is Andrzej Patyra. Last year I obtained a double PhD at the Medical University of Warsaw and University of Montpellier in France. I carry out my research in the field of pharmacology and pharmacy, and I concentrate on searching new natural compounds able to modulate insulin secretion.
Thank you very much. Adam, I would like you to ask about the same.
Okay, hi, I'm Adam. I'm a fourth-year PhD student at Poznań University of Technology. Actually, I'm doing my research in the discipline of chemical sciences. I work with biosurfactants, how they interact with biomembranes, how to use them in drug delivery system, maybe how to use them in probiotic stabilization, also with some kind of environmental stuff as biodegradation, some environmental microorganism, and etc. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Witold, could you please introduce yourself and tell about your bios and scientific activities?
I am Witold Stachowiak. I am also a fourth-year PhD student at the Poznań University of Technology in the discipline of chemical sciences. Currently, I am undertaking internships at the Università di Pisa Dipartimento di Farmacia in Italy. I am generally synthesizing ester quaternary ammonium salts with ester bonds, which can be used as disinfectants, as insecticides, generally in the industry of plant protection and in the hospitals. And here I am undertaking internships in the multi-step synthesis of such functionalized ester quads with active pharmaceutical ingredients in the cation instead of the usual approach when we have them as anion, which is simpler. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, I would like to remind that all viewers can ask questions during the chat broadcast. And also, as we know, obtaining a place on the prestigious internship is quite an achievement, and it sincerely required a lot of sacrifice on your part. How did you achieve it? Maybe we can start now from Andrzej.
No, okay. Well, I applied to a lot of different programs I've seen from the first year of my PhD. I believe from the beginning I wanted to do a double PhD, so to have cooperation with another university abroad. And I thought, well, PhD is probably the best time to find such cooperation, to do such an internship. And well, I don't know, somehow I managed. I don't believe it was this hard to actually acquire a place at for an internship. I believe it's much easier to obtain one during a PhD studies than probably later in the scientific career.
Thank you. Vital, could you please tell about your perspective about this question?
Of course. First, I want to underline that different disciplines have different ecosystem, and the easiness of obtaining research internships depend on your discipline generally. And at first, you need to find some people who want to take you for internships because it's the most important part. And usually, you need to ask couple of scientists from abroad, or maybe some friends of your professor about the possible place. And you also need to think about their laboratory and their experience, because it's obvious that if I, for example, synthesize ester quads, I can't go somewhere when people examine paintings or things like this. Yeah. Later, when you get that invitation, you need to find some fundings, and at that moment you start to compete with others. So obviously you need to have something to show. For me, it was quite easy because at the start of my PhD, I think that I want to go somewhere at the end of it to have some experience, to be better, and to take more from that internships. And at that moment, I was having a lot of articles and patents and conferences and generally a lot of things. So I was pretty sure that it will be easy to obtain some fundings. And of course, when you end it, you need to find some date and time, which at fourth year is the most problematic thing, to find 3 months when you can go from Poland and do something else. And after that, of course, you need to show some results that you use the money properly, and come back and probably continue your collaboration.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like Blanca about the same question.
Okay, so how did I achieve it, right? So my story goes a bit different, I think, and it's about the fact that something that is meant for you will always find you in some way. So honestly speaking, I hadn't considered going on an internship, and my research wasn't progressing quite as I had hoped. And the thought of, going anywhere hadn't crossed my mind for a really long time. And however, life had other plans for me. And one day I received an information that someone that I know was looking for a person for an internship in Chicago, because the first person resigned, and whether I would consider such an option. They asked me. And it was a really urgent matter because the person before resigned quite late. but I decided to take a chance and have a conversation with the organizers. So it was like an interview. And after a short while, it turned out that I met the requirements they had and got the green light to go on the internship. And it was like pure madness because it was so last minute, but like something inside me told me that I should, take the plunge, and I don't regret even one thing. So yeah. So it wasn't planned, but it worked out perfectly fine.
Thank you very much, Blanca. I would like to ask Adam the same question.
Yes, of course. Actually, the most difficult part in achieving my stay and my internships was to discuss it with my wife, just that she let me go for a half of year actually abroad, actually alone. And I have to agree with Vitek and with Andrzej. First, in our discipline, chemical sciences, it's pretty easy to find founds, to find actually also some scientists that will agree to let you be and to let you work in your lab. So it's probably in some other disciplines is more difficult first to go to find some interesting projects, to write some interesting project, rather than in chemical sciences. But it's in our disciplines it's much more easier to do it. So we did it. We prepared some project. We applied for funds. And I were in Graz in Austria and in Sydney in Australia during my stay. It was great. So from my point of view, it's not too hard actually to go abroad during that time during your PhD. And as well as Andrzej said, it's much more easier to go during your PhD rather than during being a postdoc.
Thank you very much. Natalia, how you obtain a place on your internship?
Yes, of course, I can 100% agree with my colleagues because, yeah, I participated in 4 internships during my PhD, and I spent almost a year abroad. So I think, okay, no one will give you the internship for free, but also it's not that difficult to organize everything, to get funding, because we have so many programs and competitions only for funding. So you just have to do the first step to apply for it. Just it. And in my case, to get an internship, I think I took care of 3 things. A good choice of host institution or a mentor doing research in my field. The next thing is the preparation of solid research plan for your stay abroad. And also good scientific achievements, but not only the basic ones like articles or conferences, but also being like proactive in your PhD student life, doing some additional project or development of different like soft skills can be helpful applying for the funding for the internship abroad.
Thank you very much, Natalia. Second question concerns what you mentioned earlier, and is, did you have to obtain funding, or did you use university funding or external grant program, or maybe it was part of your internship? Maybe now we can start from Blanca, with Blanca.
Okay, so I have a really short answer because the internship was financed by the grant obtained by the organizer of the internship. And I'm not sure what it was like to obtain such funding because, as I said, I replaced the person who was in this project originally. My university covered some of the costs, but it was like very small amount. And I also had to have some of my own money because the grant did not cover the costs of living there other than housing. So yeah, basically it was mainly a grant, So money of my own, and also like a small amount of money from the university. So you need to mix everything in these cases.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask Vital about the same question.
Okay. Give me a moment. Okay.
Sure.
I needed to remind me. There were some things. Okay, I obtained funds from the NAVA. It's okay. I need to check how to say it in English, but it's generally our agency in Poland, which is specializing in helping in the exchange of students between countries. And it was the project for which our university applied for its input doc project. And generally, we need to compete with other PhD students of our university for limited amount of funds per year to go somewhere to other OECD country. And generally money from this cover all things from the housing to your life. Of course, it has some limit, but it's about about 9,000 euro for 3 months. So, and it's the same to each country. So if you go to Czech, it probably will be sufficient, and you have a good time there. But if you go somewhere else, for example, to Chicago, it will be harder to live for such amount of money for 3 months. Yeah, but it also depends, I think, on the university when you go, because somewhere when you have campus, you can rent cheap flats from university, and sometimes you need to rent a flat or something like that if university like in Pisa do not have a campus and they have faculties in historical buildings everywhere.
Thank you very much. I would like Andrzej about the same question.
Yeah, so it's a bit complex because there were different programs and funds that I used. So at the beginning, actually, perhaps it was not that hard to establish a cooperation with another institute, but then to find the funds for mobility and also for the experiments was perhaps more of a challenge. And similar to Witold, I also applied for these mobility scholarships from the NAWA, so the National Agency for Academic Exchange. So my university got funding. There were 2 programs. First it was PROM, the other one was STER, and they only offered money for the mobility, for the short mobility actually. The other one was from the French government. I obtained a scholarship to do a part of my PhD, actually quite quite large, half of my PhD in France. And then, well, I also needed some other funds to fund some other money to cover the costs of my project. So this proved to be, I believe, more challenging. Yeah, I believe most of it was already said. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Adam, how did you obtain a funding for your internship?
Yeah, so I was on 2 internships, as I said. Both of them were actually paid from Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange, so NAWA. But this was not a Becker program. It was actually the STER program, as Andrzej also mentioned it. And Vitek also, the input project, this is actually the same, like the STER is a part of the input project. And the second one was CEPUS program. This is actually the program with some exchange between the Middle Europe countries like Poland, Austria, and there's also Bosnia probably, and Serbia, and some countries like this stuff. So that's why I traveled to Austria. The funds was actually enough to stay for 3 months in Austria from the CEPUS program, and also in Sydney to from the STER program. So it was much more than enough to I also save some money during my stay. So actually the most expensive part was flight to Sydney. It was, the costs were much higher than actually they planned for such a long trip. But it was just, I just moved some money from my scholarship to cover the flight. So yeah, it was much more than enough to live there.
Thank you. I would like ask Natalia about the same question.
So my first internship was with the Erasmus Plus program. I spent 3 months in Prague. But for someone who wants to apply for Erasmus, has to know that the funding cover only like the difference between living in the country that you want to go and your country that you're living. So in this case, I used my own PhD scholarship as the main source of funding, and then the Erasmus funding was only as the additional to help me. My next 2 internships were with Orbis project funded by Horizon Europe grant. So the money I got from the program was enough to cover all my expenses. So I didn't have to use my personal money. And my last internship in Australia, I also took part in the STER program, STER competition. So yeah, the same as Adam and Andrzej.
Thank you very much. To conclude, to founding internship depends about another thing. So we can go to the third question. What concern did you have to meet to receive your internship? Maybe we can start from Adam this time.
Yeah, okay. So actually the first thing is to find someone, some scientist that will let you actually, that will let you work in his lab. And this is I think this is the most difficult part. I have sent like 15 mails to different people, but fortunately most of them send me they actually agreed with me, so I can I had to choose someone to go. Just I think 2 of them just reject my proposal, so it was actually good, good feedback from all of them. So yeah, basically I had to choose the place that I want to go, so it was quite good actually for me, and I had chosen Australia because why not? This is the first thing, and when you find someone, the second step is to write a good proposal, the project proposal. Actually, the better the scientist, the better proposal will be, because in some competitions also the supervisor of your stay also gains some points. So the better he or she, the better will be your proposal. And this is like I think the most difficult part that you have to concern. Also the country, I think this is also like, if the country is European, or I don't know, if the visa requirements sometimes are different. For example, for the USA, for Australia, you have to be careful about that.
Thank you very much. Vital, what conditions did you have?
Okay. Of course, when I apply for the grant for the people from our university, first I need to be PhD student at Poznań University of Technology. So this condition I meet at start. Second thing, as Adam said, I need a letter of invitation And I think that in any grant for internships, always you need a letter of invitation because it's a proof that you find somebody who take you. Later, you need to write some good research program, which should be also ambitious, but not too ambitious because it needs to be realistic. And Commission can set that the thing which you write is like a dream, not possible to do in 3 months, because generally 3 months is a quite short time if we think about it. And after that, you need to have some achievements. At the STEP program, we was, if I remember correctly, assessed by the number of our publication, our position in them, their impact factor, things like that. So I think the best thing is to have as much publication as good as the places which you show, because usually you, for example, show 5 chosen publications. So it would be sad if you have, for example, only one, because you look worse than other people. And if you have 5 of them, it's harder to say which one is better or worse. Of course, you have impact factor, but there is also thing like your position as author or the number of the people in them. And after that, you are assessed, you get the fundings or no, and at that moment you only need to say that you agree with it and to sign the agreement, with your university or other organization will give you money for internships.
Thank you very much. I will ask Andrzej the same question.
So much has been said already. I don't really want to repeat from the others. So yes, the main requirement was to be actually to be a PhD student. And in my case, in my university, the evaluation was based on the candidates' achievements mostly. So as Witold said, for example, the publications, also some conferences, well, similar stuff in this case. You also had to have a letter of invitation from any lab of your choosing, but this was not actually evaluated which one is better or worse. And in some cases, you also had to write a research proposal. So what would you like to do during the internship? Sometimes, for example, when we applied for a program with French-Polish cooperation, so it was funded by both Poland and France, you needed to disclose, say why this cooperation is important also for the 2 countries. So you needed to look up the strategic goals of the cooperation between countries and see if your project fits into them. But otherwise, it was pretty much similar to what Witold and Adam had said.
Thank you very much. Blanka, what conditions did you have to meet to receive your internship?
Okay, so first of all, in my case and as well as the other ones, I think the English was the non-negotiable requirement. Like no questions asked, you need to speak English at B2 level. And additionally, I had to meet the requirements for the ability to work in clean conditions, to conduct and manage cell cultures, and to proceed the molecular analysis, including the flow cytometry, for example, and ELISA. So it was like, just points that I needed to meet. And because the internship was about the CAR-T cells therapies, I needed to refresh my knowledge about immunology and the topics related to leukemia. And I think achievements such as scientific experience and publications were also a factor here, I think. Yeah.
I will ask now Natalia the same question.
Again, the last one.
It should be
yeah,
mixed.
I think I will not say anything new. Yeah, I can somehow summarize it. So yeah, like letter of invitation, good proposal of your research. Sometimes you have to submit your curriculum vitae. Yeah, like scientific achievements, and also with the Erasmus program, I need to go through the English test, and also I think, yeah, the average grade should be higher than 4.0. I think it was something like that. So 2 more additional requirements, but it was easy to get from the Erasmus.
Thank you very much. Vital, was the internship linked to your dissertation or not?
You know, it's interesting question. So I need to tell you that generally I meet my host, Professor Gazelli, at the conference about green synthesis and green chemistry in Poznań, Poland. So generally I know that I approached him because he also worked on the same compounds which I work as I started my PhD. And generally because of that, I go to I think the only place in the earth when people synthesize similar or the same compound that I am. And generally because of that is strictly linked to my PhD, to my thesis. The exact compounds which I synthesize here, of course, wasn't planned in my plan of research at the start of PhD, but it can be easily added and easily connected to the rest of my results for PhD. So yes, it's linked.
Thank you very much. Natalia, was your internship linked to your dissertation or maybe for something else?
Okay. Fast. Yeah, the first 3 internships were not related to my PhD thesis, but only, yeah, I was doing research on something that it was in my research interest area, so let's say like that. But the last internship in Australia was directly linked with my PhD dissertation. And it was even the condition for participating in the competition to have research proposal linked with your PhD.
Thank you very much. I would like ask the same Blanca.
So it wasn't linked to my dissertation, to be honest, but it was an extremely valuable lesson. And although the topic was much different, I gained some skills that were so universal that I can use them in my work now. So here may be some information for people who are looking for internships now and cannot find exactly something in their area of research. Like going for an internship where you can potentially gain new skills or establish cooperation is always a good idea. So it doesn't need to be exact same thing you need to do with your dissertation or your interest. Like try some new things. That's my advice.
Thank you very much, Blanca. I am totally agree with your opinion.
Yeah, I can also 100 totally agree with Blanca, because it was like my situation from my first 3 internships. I did totally different things, but I learned something that I can use. I'm using now, so in my PhD research. So
yeah. Now, maybe Adam.
As the girls said, it was my PhD, my stay were linked. In general, they were linked, but with some new analysis, with some new equipment used. Yeah, but in general, it was linked. As Blanca said, it don't have to. I think it don't have to be linked, but you have to remember that you have 4 years to finish the PhD. So you have to remember about it.
Thank you very much for your opinion. I would like to ask Andrzej to the same question.
So in my case, it was 100% linked. What we tried to achieve here was to outsource the methods, the knowledge, the scientific equipment or models that we didn't possess here in Poland. Well, from some other place, so do the experiments that we, for example, couldn't do or didn't have the knowledge here, somewhere else. So that's why everything was pretty much linked and thought to be useful as a whole for the PhD. But of course, I agree that it's not always the case, and it's also um, really good to just go for an internship that's not linked, just to learn something new or to see a different community, different scientific lab, how it works elsewhere.
Thank you very much. Natalia, did you have to suspend your training program and IPB?
No, I didn't have to suspend or change anything because, like, first, all the courses that we have in doctoral school that we have to pass, we can either do online or pass before or after your internship. So you just have to ask the the person that you know
Our
what I mean.
supervisor or
Yeah.
other person who is responsibility for our
for the course.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. And with the research work, I always have like the strategy to do as much lab work before going on internship, and then on my internship I can analyze and calculate all the results from my research. Yes, so I think that's it.
So your internship was helpful for your dissertation and IPB.
Of course.
This is really motivating.
I think the internships only can have like positive impact on your life.
Exactly, that's the point. I would like to ask Witold the same question.
Okay, as I said before, I also making my internships at 4th year, so I don't have any lessons at the university now because I ended all of them. Generally, I do not need to change anything in EPB, but EPB, which we write at start of my PhD, is general marketing thing. We can't know what we do on 4th year at the start, so it can't be fulfilled 100% because sometimes, for example, when we want to publish something, it takes, for example, 2 years, and nobody can know it at the start. So it's some marketing thing. You said, yeah, I have a plan. I think after 3 years, I send something and publish there or that or this. So generally, you have something from your IPB and something is not correctly, it's also okay. Yeah. So I do not think. Of course, you can once change your IPB to make some magical thing and do this with the dates to be like somebody who know the future and every answers. But I don't think it's important or we need to do this. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Andrzej, did you have to suspend your training?
No, not at all. Actually, from the beginning, the internships were included in my IPB, so I already knew I wanted and I would like to go somewhere. Perhaps as for the trainings, it didn't interfere that much, although I had to do the teaching during the first semester, for example, to be sure I had time on the second semester to go abroad. And sometimes we had some courses, trainings online, so this was also helpful and allowed me to do at least some of the trainings from abroad.
Thank you very much. Adam, did you have suspend your training or not?
No, like others said, I didn't have to suspend anything. The stay was linked, actually, as I said before. So I will use the results to finish the dissertation, to finish some papers. So no, I don't. Actually, I wasn't even thinking about suspending anything during even like applying for funds. So I don't have to. I don't think that it's necessary to suspend any research program or training program.
Thank you very much. Blanca, did you have to suspend your training program or IPB?
So no, because the internship was only for a month and like fell just during the holiday period and just before the start of the academic year, right? So it took some organization for me, but I managed to rearrange everything so that it didn't disturb my laboratory work. And it's probably not possible during longer trips, longer internships that are not linked to your dissertation, but I guarantee that the shorter ones are equally valuable. And I think that you need to choose the length and specificity of the internship to suit your capabilities and plan and research very well. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we start from Blanca. Blanca, going abroad by yourself is a brave thing to do, as we know. Did you meet friendly people on the spot who help you find the way in the new reality? We know that it's only 1 month because it's another city, another country, and another people who live there, another culture.
So I like to travel alone, but it usually happens within Poland. And to be honest, I was terrified because I had never traveled outside the Europe. But I was going to this project with 2 other women with whom I had only exchanged a couple of messages before, and we met just at the airport. And really, I couldn't have dreamed of a better team for such an internship because we complemented each other perfectly. And additionally, the people we worked with in the laboratory in Chicago were truly amazing. And I was afraid of this even more than just the journey itself and crossing the borders. And I honestly don't remember the last time I met such kind people. And we were going through jet lag very, very hard, very, very difficult for us. But every one of us was really understanding, and they didn't mind repeating a few things that that were very new for us and therefore were difficult. I think that without these people, this internship would be not such a wonderful experience as it was. So yeah, people really matter.
So you have support. Witold, did you meet friendly people on spot who help you?
Yes, of course. It's also, I think, quite characteristic for Italians, at least from the Toscania. I'm not sure about other regions, but people here generally care for each other and spend time together. For example, I don't think in Poland we usually don't have things like that, but here we have one social room for all master thesis students who undertake diplomas in our faculty, for all PhD students, and for all postdocs. Yeah. And because of that, there are about 20 or 50 persons at each moment, and everybody talks with everyone. We have 1 hour of the lunchtime during each day, the same hour, so people have time to talk, to have a little break because it's at the middle of the day. And I also spent time with them in the town, in the party, because 2 of girls from our faculty and their PhD. So of course I want to spend some time, drink some alcohol, and think, yeah, now I end it, so my life maybe will be better. But no, it's the same day like yesterday. Yeah. So I really appreciate them, and generally people here. Generally, they believe that you should work only 40 hours per week, And for me, it's something new. It's really weird. I think in Poland, most PhD students we work, I don't know, 60 hours a week, something like that is a norm. And to think that you work only 40 hours, and it's also professor, postdocs, all people here work 8 hours a day with 1 hour for break and later go home. So I believe it's also affect their approach to other people, yeah, because they have more energy, because probably they sleep better than we sleep in Poland. Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to ask Andrzej the same question.
So yes, of course, I met a lot of friendly people, although there were some challenges, like not everybody actually spoke English there in south of France in my lab, or at least they weren't really keen to speak English, which was a challenge because French was perhaps not first and second, but
Andrzej, could you repeat? Because
Sorry.
I believe you have a technical issue.
Yes, I had a technical issue. The page reloaded. I don't know why. Okay. So again, from what did you hear? What was the last thing you heard?
It's
That the
nothing.
French wasn't your first language.
Yeah, yes, sorry. So wasn't first, wasn't second, was perhaps third language, and it's still different to speak day-to-day French and then to speak about science in the foreign language. But that was also an opportunity to learn. Then it was a bit similar to what Visual said. So in the mid of the day, you had about 2 hour break to eat your lunch. So you also had an opportunity to talk, and there was also an opportunity to just see how different was the organization, not only of the day of these people, but also the lab. So, in my case, I was able to see how French scientific labs work, and I believe they were much bigger than the ones we see in Poland. So, for example, in my city, in my lab, there were academic teachers from many universities, so not just from one, but they could be assigned to different universities to teach, and researchers that didn't teach at all. So you could say, for example, that you have different universities and the like Polish Academy of Sciences in one place at the same time. So something much huger, something huge, and with a lot of cooperation between different people. So this was an interesting experience.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask Natalia the same question.
What was the question?
Going abroad by yourself.
Okay, yeah,
brave
yeah,
thing
I
to
remember.
do.
Yeah. Yeah, I am the type of the person who is not afraid of like traveling somewhere far away. It's not a problem for me, so I was able to organize everything by myself without any problems. But when it comes to people, I have never have any unpleasant situation. The people I met, like both at the internship site and also like outside the company or university, were always like kind, nice, and friendly. So I still keep in touch with some of these people, like even when I'm here back in Poland. So everything was perfect from my side. But on one internship, I was in Ukraine. There were also challenges with the language because not many Ukrainians speak English. So yeah, that was main challenge there. But like when it comes to people, always was very fine.
Thank you very much. Adam, did you meet friendly people?
Of course, I won't say anything new. Actually, like on both the internships, the people were amazing. I still have contact with them. I sent some photos, some messages, and other stuff. In Austria, also, when I arrived in Graz, this is like the second, it was not Vienna, it was the second city of Austria, in Graz. They have a special office for people that are actually coming for some internships, not also for just for PhD, but also for some students. And it was like the first step you are doing there. So you go there, you are you getting your keys to your room, and then you can just spend some time in your room, and then you are going to the university to meet your team. In Australia, it was a little bit different because actually we found a flat for ourselves, and then there was no any office like the exchange office. So you had to do everything on your own. But as Natalia said, actually, like the others said, the people were amazing. The people are really helpful. It's the time that you have to it's the time for you learn about new cultures, you spend the time with the people, so they will be helpful and they will be kind, and yeah.
Thank you. You asked partially to the next question, so maybe we can start from you. Did you have a day-to-day routine, or was it set of random events and experience?
Actually, it rather was the random experience. Of course, like each day from Monday to Friday, I was spending in lab. I'm not waking up early, so it was like from 8 to 4, or from 9 to 5, and then during the week I just do some stuff with, I don't know, in Australia, and I was spending some time in park, mostly. During the weekends, we did some sightseeing, spending time on walking in Blue Mountains or something, like on the beach or etc. And in Graz, it's the same. They have some mountains, so we are also traveling, and yeah. So the weekends are for fun. The Monday to Friday is to work.
Okay, thank you very much. Witold, did you have day-to-day routine?
Generally, as I said before, we have some hours to work at the university, so I have a routine. I go to the work at about 9 a.m. I have lunch each day at 1 p.m. and I end work each day about 6 p.m. So generally, I have routine like this. 5 days a week, the same time frame. And I spent some time working at the laboratory, working in social room, on some files, on some spectrums or results. So it's like a work generally. I think.
Thank you. I would like to ask Andrzej the same question.
So I was trying to get the most of my internship, especially last year when I was in need of results fast before defending. So during the week I worked sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes I woke up at 6 to make my experiments, as some labs were occupied most of the day, for example, and you needed to find your spot. And well, sometimes there were no spots, so I had to come a bit earlier. And during the week it was similar, as for example Adam said. So I tried to sightsee a bit. I bought a bike and went around to see small villages or go to the beach, which was only 15 kilometers from my city. So yeah, I tried to get a lot, both scientifically and let's say touristically.
Thank you. Blanka, did you have yours day-to-day routine?
Yeah, so it was a really strict routine, to be honest, because our work week looked like this most of the time. So we were waking up around 6 to 7 a.m. We were living together also, so that's important. 6 to 7 a.m. Then we're going to work until 4 to 6 p.m. there was also a break for lunch. Then we were cooking a meal together, and everyone had a moment for themselves in the evening. It was like mostly every day. And as I said, I didn't have to suspend my IPB, which was a good decision on the one hand, but it meant that I had to deal with the matters in Poland while I was abroad. And since the time difference was huge, I often woke up around 2, 3 a.m. to contact the administration. It wasn't every day, right? But I think it could, I could count like a dozen of such days. So here is also advice for someone who is thinking about the internship. You need to think carefully about whether there is a chance that any emergencies would appear during your absence. Because if there is a even slightly chance, I think it's worth suspending your IPB and the training program. Yeah, and that was the work week. And on the weekends, we explored intensively. I really didn't think we would have time to see so much, but it was also possible to such an extreme thanks to our host, right? Because he showed us many, many beautiful places. And unfortunately, the famous Chicago Bean were under renovation, so I wasn't able to see its beauty. But I need to come back, right? Just to see it.
There's motivating for you. Natalia, did you have today routine, or maybe it was a set of random events?
Yes, I did 3 of my internships in pharmaceutical companies, so I had to follow like certain rules and also work during the company's opening hours. So it was kind of day-to-day routine. But I still had some freedom because I didn't have to be in the company all the time from open to close. So I still have time to just have some free time. But when it comes to the internship, Australia, it was random events all the time. I did it at university, so I had a total freedom. I organized all of my work by myself. For example, I could go like during the lunch break, I could go to the beach and then go back and work in the lab from 8 p.m., for example. So, and I could also ask for some days off to go and travel. So it wasn't a problem at all. So depending where you're doing your internship, in the company or the university or whatever.
Okay, thank you very much. And now, Witold, what kind of unique experience did you gain thanks to your internship?
Okay, I think I could divide my experience on the cultural ones and on the scientific ones. Because at the university, of course, I can use other equipment which wasn't available at our university, like NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance, or I can obtain some experience from the synthetic chemists who generally before synthesizing any liquids, they synthesize sugars, which is quite challenging and problematic. So here we have a lot of more of compounds than we have in Poznań, and a lot more of people who know how to use some high problematic techniques in organic chemistry. So it's nice to take that knowledge from them. And beside that, I also have a lot of experience about their culture, because, for example, Italians, as all of us know, quite like their cuisine. So they have some ways of making pasta, some ways of making pizza, of making some bakery stuff. Yeah. So now I can prepare original Italian cuisine like focaccia, like tiramisu, yeah, and I can be sure in my skills because I can ask Italians here, yeah, whether it's good or it's not as good as it should be. And I also can get some other cultural things like like their way of education in the high school. Because, for example, here in Italia, they usually teach people in high school about the philosophy, about some works of Nietzsche, Schopenhauer, or Kant. And I think that in Poland we do not underline such topics. We do not understand the value of them. And I think it's quite important to show people the different opinions of some bright minds in our history, and to show them that a lot of them have other views, and we should respect other people, and not only people who have the same views as we are. Yeah. So it was quite important experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Natalia, what you gain of unique experience?
Of course, apart from the things typically related to our lab work, I think there are a lot of other positive things related to the internships. First one, I think not only working, but actually living in the international environment and getting to know new cultures are very important. Then living abroad, you kind of getting rid of paying attention of what someone is wearing, what they eat, because nothing will surprise you anymore. Also expanding your network of contacts that you don't know when may be very helpful. Sometimes learning how to live out of your comfort zones, because sometimes happens something. Yeah, and like many other soft skills that you can develop during your internships. I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Natalia. I would like to ask Blanca the same question.
Okay, so I won't list all the procedures I learned here because that's what I expected to learn, right? It was all about CAR T cells therapy, so I can say that I successfully learned how to plan and conduct a therapy like this. However, what this internship taught me was above all taking the first step for myself, and even if I am not so sure of the result, because I'm naturally a very cautious person, sometimes even too cautious, which is why many opportunities have passed me by. But since then, I have known that if something has a chance to succeed, it will. Like some people prefer the saying, if something has a chance to fail, it will fail. But I changed my attitude a while ago. So this trip even influenced the fact that I am here today with you and speak English in public, because it was one of the things that was really, really difficult for me to overcome. So yeah, that's it. And last thing, I think additionally, because I met such wise people there, I also learned a lot from them, not necessarily only on the scientific topics. Yeah, so a lot of experiences, a lot of new knowledge.
Thank you very much. Adam, what kind of unique experience did you gain?
As others said, like the scientific experience, of course, in working in lab, some new analysis, some new equipment, and of course the social stuff. How to speaking English, as Blanca said, because like this is our Polish. Let's say like Polish school doesn't teach how to speak English. It's
Polish drama.
Sorry.
Polish drama.
Oh, trauma, yes, of course. How to speak English, yes. And in the country full of native speakers, it's you have to speak English. So that was a quite good experience to have ability, even if you make mistakes in English. We all do mistakes. They also do mistakes. So you have to speak. So that was also quite good experience. Of
but
course,
actually, most of the time we speak better than from other countries, like
yes.
ASEAN countries or something.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's true. I can totally agree with Natalia. Also to try some new cuisine, some new kitchen. You have to cook or you have to buy some other stuff. In Graz, they drink. This is like the very fresh wine called Sturm, and you can only try it in November. So that was quite also good new experience. But the very funny experience was when we were traveling back from Australia. We have started our journey on Monday, right? And in Germany, I was also on Monday again. And it was after 40 hours of journey. It was still Monday. So that was really good experience and really funny experience.
A little bit longer, but it's fine.
But it was still Monday. So.
And this is the key.
Yeah.
Adam, you forgot about sleeping in the car waiting for the ferry.
Oh, yes, that was also quite good experience, but it was in New Zealand. But it's not about the internship.
But you have
But it was good
memory.
experience to see how patient New Zealanders are. Because they were really patient about the situation, we were not. So yeah.
I would like to ask Andrzej the same question.
Well, there's not much I can add. Of course, there are some experiences like the others had, but I'm also really fond of the scientific experience I got. So, especially regarding the cell culture methods and pharmacological methods, I actually had to do a lot of these experiments in France. Much more than I did in Poland, and it allowed me to perfect some of the skills, some of the methods, which I believe was and fortunately will be useful in the future.
Thank you very much. Next question. Maybe we can start from Adam. When is the best time to apply in internship program? Should we begin at first year, or it was wait a little bit longer? You say about it earlier, but maybe you can tell something more about it.
This is like a quite complex question, because the earlier you start, the higher the chance are that you obtain the internship. You gain some funds from some program like Becker, Maria Curie, Skłodowska Action, Fulbright, on some other stuff. But as we all said, you have to have some experience, some scientific papers, conferences, some, I don't know, some cooperation or something. So maybe the best is the second year, maybe. Like during the first year, you actually get acquainted how to work in lab, just to see some working culture or some other stuff. You gain some experience, you gain some maybe scientific paper there will be, and then you have some experience and you can apply for funds. Maybe the chances are also you have some time or still to apply the second, the third, and the fourth year. So yeah, my recommendation is to start the earlier you start, the chances are higher.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask the same question to Witold.
Okay, I think it's a hard question, and it's also important about us, because I think some people like to travel, like to see new places, and generally for them it's only positive. And some people are afraid, do not want to do this, and it's problematic for them. And I think it's quite important, because to afraid people, it's better to go later, because at that moment they have more chances that nothing bad occur, because they have more experience. They are generally harder to break than at the start of PhD. And of course, if somebody has skills in English, is quite self-aware of his skills and know what he wants to do and where to do this, it's better to do as soon as possible, because our internships is also some of our achievements if you apply for other internships, for some awards, for anything. And as was said before, it's easy to go to internships during our PhD, but it's quite problematic after the PhD during a postdoc or during some work somewhere. Yeah, this is the moment to do this, the last moment. And of course, if we start to think about it at 3rd or 4th year and we can't get it exactly at that time, we can lose that chance and later never get it again. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Angie, what do you think? Where is the best time to apply in internship programs?
So I mostly agree with my predecessors. So the sooner the better. I would say during the first year, it's as you start, you can search for some opportunities that are available. You may have a bit weaker, let's say, curriculum than the others, but it's not always about the curriculum. Sometimes there are more places than people that actually want to apply. That could be your chance. And then you can start with let's say, a shorter internship. And if you feel this was nice, you liked it, you can apply for a longer one. So you can try for shorter ones to be sure that it's something for you, and then apply for the much longer ones. And especially as there are some much longer that require from you time and time during your PhD. So sometimes it's a half a year, for example, or even a whole year. So this is something you should plan at the beginning, because it may be hard, let's say, during the 4th year now to find a time for a half a year or 1 year internship.
Thank you very much. I believe it was very helpful for doctoral who thinking about the internship, that we should start earlier. Thank you. Now I would like to ask about the same question to Blanca.
Okay, so as I said at the beginning, I deeply believe that what is meant for you will probably find you at some point, but I wouldn't advise waiting until the last moment, just as I did. In my case, it was influenced by the state of my research and its not so good course. But if you see that there are no like huge obstacles on the horizon, just start looking for something, because it is one of the best things you can do for your development. And if I were to start doctoral school again, I would go for an internship in the 3rd or the 4th year, maybe. And I will start looking from the very beginning of my studies at the doctoral school. Just to take some steps in this direction, the first task is to orient yourself in the area. Maybe not just apply in the 1st year, but like just orient yourself. That's what I would do.
Thank you very much. Natalia, what do you think? When is the best time to apply to internship?
As a big fan of traveling, I would say the sooner the better. And I think I'm a good example, because my first internship with the Erasmus Plus program, I started 1 month before getting to know that I will be in the doctoral school. And it was 3 months long internship. So yeah, I think the sooner the better. But to be honest, any time is a good time, because I think going abroad can only have positive impact on you, on your work, and on your social relation and everything. So just go, do the first step, apply, and go. Have fun. Highly
I believe
recommend.
that is the point.
Yes.
So thank you very much for your answer. Next question, we can start from Andrzej. Andrzej, did your journey result in a longer cooperation with the unit where the internship took place?
Yes, it did. So after my internship, or actually during this internship, we decided with both my supervisors in Poland and in France to apply for other projects, to apply together for some projects, and we actually received for now a small grant for mobility, so more people will be able to come from Poland to France and from France to Poland, and this perhaps will result in some other new projects, some other perhaps fundings, and hopefully it will flourish.
Thank you very much. Adam, did your journey result in a longer cooperation?
Yes, currently we are finishing some scientific papers, like two different ones, one with the Graz and the second one with Sydney. And also, yeah, we have some ideas to apply for funds to do some research together. So was Andrzej, basically.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask Natalia the same question.
In my case, I no longer cooperate only with one institution where I had an internship. It's with the institution in Ukraine, so obviously they have more important things to think about than me. So yeah, and with other, I'm still in contact. We do some research project together, and also my mentor from Australia will visit us this year because our faculty organized a conference, so we will see each other. So yeah, it's a nice thing.
Thank you very much. Blanka, what did your journey result in a longer cooperation?
Yes, the cooperation has been established for sure. We even recently had the opportunity to host several guests from the Chicago laboratory in our university in Poznań. And at the moment, I am focusing 100% on my PhD just to finish it in time. But I will take up the topic again after completing all the research. And however, what makes me very, very happy that I'm in constant contact with many people from the internship because they are great scientists, but also great people. So I don't think I will cross the line here if I allow myself to say that I made a couple of unexpected friends there. So not only scientific collaboration, but yeah, just we're still in contact personally.
Thank you very much. Vital, did your journey result in a longer cooperation?
You know, my journey is still not ended, but I think it will result in longer collaboration because at first we ended with currently ending one of articles. I get results for second one, and according to my plan, I also should get results for third one in Poznań. So I think 3 articles is a longer collaboration if we look at this from that side of view. But also here in Pisa, a group in which I am currently undertaking internships, collaborate with industry. They also make a lot of stuff in the green chemistry, in the optimization of reaction, in the electrochemistry, in the reaction in pressurized conditions. Generally, they do anything which can be linked to organic chemistry or green chemistry. So I think that if I do anything in the chemistry, I will still collaborate with them even after some time because people are great, competent. All people generally here talk in English, and they do a lot of stuff. So I think it's easy to find something which we can do together in a meaningful way. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your answer. And Vital, do you have any advices for doctoral students on how to make the most of on internship?
Of course, I think the best idea, not even at the internships, but if you go to work anywhere, to any new place, it's good to ask people about the possibility to teach, to learn something from them. Like, other PhD students or postdocs, they use a lot of techniques. Maybe not all of them is important to us now, but we can't be sure which one of them will be important in a year or in 2 years. Maybe we find something interesting. And it's nice to find some people who do this for years, who are expert in this, and ask them directly to show us how to do this, or maybe to tell us some tips and tricks about it, because it's a unique opportunity for us. It can result in a lot of new abilities which can be useful for us. This is one thing. Second thing is to have some plan, which, as we said before, is mandatory to apply for funds, and to do it from day to day, and to do something new when we encounter some problems. Because, for example, I wait 3 3 weeks for materials from Poznań, and at this time I am using stuff here to do some other stuff, to get more results, to get some skills, to work faster when I get my compounds. And of course, some people can think that, okay, I wait 3 weeks, so I don't do anything. I will only, I don't know, write something on computer. But I think it's the best way is to use your time to do things which is possible only at the place of internships, and not to do things which you can also do in a place of your origin, because you waste practically your time here. Yeah, you should spend time with people to learn about the culture, to learn about the scientific stuff, to get results which is impossible to attain in Poznań. And I think in this way you can get the most of your internships. Thank you.
Thank you. Blanka, what about your perspective? Do you have any advices for doctoral candidates?
I know it's a cliche and everyone is saying it nowadays, but my best advice is to be positively delusional to some point. And I don't mean it like just sit around and wait for a miracle to come, but when you see something you like, a place or a project that is interesting to you, just apply for it, okay? The worst thing that can happen is just them saying no to your application, but you can learn so much from every rejection, and we need to stop treating the rejections like a failure and start seeing it just as a change in the course of our path. So do things scared, but do them anyway. That is my best advice for everyone.
Thank you very much. Andrzej, do you have any advices for doctoral students?
Yeah, so to perhaps make it short, take-home message, I would say take advantage of your PhD, grab the multiple opportunities you have. For example, internships, that it's much easier during the PhD than later during a postdoc. You also have the opportunity to broaden your skills, your methods, when later you have to focus on something, so it's not that easy. So the internship doesn't have to be really related to your thesis, to your topic. It can be something different, but perhaps can help you later in the future to find your dream job, for example, or dream position at another university or another postdoc. So go on and do internships.
Thank you very much for your answer. Adam, do you have any unique advice for doctoral candidates?
Yes, my unique advice is not to spend whole time in lab. Like, go outside, go and see something interesting. Like, you know, like the advice from Blanka, Andrzej, and Witold were pretty nice, actually. I can totally agree with them. So I decided to say something different. Like, even if you don't finish something in lab, you can always send samples, like from chemical sciences, of course, so from chemical ones. But still, you know, it's rather difficult to travel back somewhere and to see something again, rather than to send samples. So don't spend whole time in lab. Go to the city, eat something, some cuisine, in, you know, some unique cuisine in some restaurant. Spend time with people, with team. It's always better than doing some analysis all the time. So this is my advice, but I can totally agree with others, and I totally recommend to apply for funds to go abroad. You will see the difference when you come back. Big difference.
Thank you very much. For your unique advice is make a socialite for doctoral student, and it's really positive.
Yes, made some social stuff. Go to the park, to the mountains. Go outside the city even. So yeah, see something interesting.
For my side, I believe that is really important. Natalia, did you have any advice for doctoral students?
I will not repeat what the others said, but yeah, I agree 100%. But also from like practical point of view, I can give some advice. So maybe don't be afraid to discuss with the mentor at the internship site your goals and expectation from the internships. Also, get to know your like team mates or supervisors, and because like building the relationships with them, with the professionals in your field, can open the doors for other opportunities later. And also just be open to new experiences and maybe challenges, even out of your comfort zone, but it will pay back.
Thank you very much. As you said earlier, internship have only positive sides. It's improving our skills. So I'm wondering that are you planning on apply for any future internships? Maybe it could be postdoc programs. Danke. Please take the floor first.
Okay, so as I said before, my research maybe didn't as well as I planned for it to be for the first place. But yes, answering your questions, I am wondering about every opportunity to go outside the country and maybe starting a postdoc outside of Poland. And to be honest, I was thinking about United States and Scandinavian region mostly, but I'm not saying no to other places. But the first thing is first, and it's now to finish my PhD. That's the main thing to do right now. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask Natalia the same question. Natalia, you have technical issue.
So, no. I just, I was, yeah, maybe not now because I have to finish my PhD finally. So, but yeah, at one point in my life, I would like to move for a longer time abroad. So we will see.
Thank you.
I have some plans, but I don't want to say it loud.
Okay. Adam, did you planning postdoc program?
Actually, not now. I have some a little bit different goals for now. Maybe later for some internship, but not for postdoc, and not now.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. Andrzej, did you planning on apply from postdoc program?
Well, at the moment, I'm, let's say, taking a break from science. I'm working in the private sector in a pharmaceutical company, so not at the moment, but perhaps in the future.
Sure, thank you for your answer. Now, Vital, do you planning on apply for any future internships or maybe some postdoc program?
I plan to apply for future internships because it's easier to get it during your PhD. And now when I send the aforementioned publication with my host here, I will have a series of publication for my PhD. So I only need to wait to the time when some journals approve it and publish. So in this couple months, probably I can try to go somewhere for internships, and I get a couple invitations from the USA and Netherlands. And if somebody give you invitation during your cooperation without even asking for it, it's nice to consider it generally. And I do not think about postdoc program, but of course postdoc program have quite nice funding in the Western Europe, and it's also not so far away. And also I also think about some pharmaceutical companies, specifically in Netherlands, because they do a lot of cutting edge stuff. For example, a lot of R&D, a lot of pharmaceutical companies exclude their R&D to smaller companies in Netherlands, and it's cutting edge online chemistry and something which can change your life in better way if you have skills to get there and to take some experience from here. So I definitely think about it, but we will see how it will be, because we only have 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year, so it's not that easy to accomplish everything. Huh? Thank you.
Exactly.
Vitek, you will make it.
Yeah, I believe the internship is a real opportunity and you gain it for now. I'm looking for the question for our viewers.
Can I have one question to Blanca?
Oh my God, yes. I think yes.
No, I just wanted to ask if you went to Chicago with Biolab program or not?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's not perfect.
Different grants, so yeah, it's not like this. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't see any question for our viewers. So for now, I think we can conclude our interview. Personally, I hope this interview serves as motivation for other doctoral candidates because it's centrally for me motivate for do internship I want to believe that for our viewers and our guests, this has been an incredibly time, and I also must say that I really appreciate that you have time to meet, for your openness and for answering for all my questions. I believe there is nothing left for me to do, but thank you and wish you more future success and good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you. Bye.